Hey everybody, it's Chef Eben from the How Many Wins Network, and I'm coming to you live from Clovis, California, my hometown, where I am officially in quarantine. That's right, spinal cord injury, man. I've got a compromised immune system and some respiratory difficulties, so I'm checking all the boxes of being in quarantine. And that's not the reason that I'm talking to you today, though. I wanted to let you know that I am sending you right now an article that I wrote and a video that I filmed last week about leadership and leading in the spring and getting excited about some things that are coming up. The video is still relevant. It's a leadership lesson. It's something that's still relevant. My tone's a little different though. But I wanted to send it to you anyway, and I'm going to tag this video with this little blurb that I'm filming now. Just to let you know, I filmed the video before a lot of the health things were in crisis mode, and I think you'll notice that. But I do think that the leadership lesson is still valid, and I want to send that to you and also let you know that over the course of the next, as long as we're in this situation, over the next couple of months, I'm going to be sending you as often as I can leadership tips about crisis leadership and things you can do with your staff and with your students as this goes further to keep them motivated and keep them with you. I would love your feedback too, so comment with me and let's keep a conversation and a dialogue going. Remember, as leaders, this is our time to step up and be visible, man. So comment with me, stay connected with me, and the rule still applies, man. During this time and during the time that we're the most troubled, we got to look ourselves in the mirror and ask that question, man. How many wins have you had today?
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and... Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the How Many Wins Network, the home base in beautiful Clovis, California, home of the Clovis Rodeo, the Blossom Trail, and my personal favorite, the California Dancing Raisin. You know what? I'm just kidding, man. I knew you were here. But I was doing something that I just learned, that I realized I learned from my favorite musical of all time, The Sound of Music. You know what? Julie Andrews was way smarter than I thought she was. Because in the time when things got the scariest in that movie, she busted out that song, that counting my favorite things. And I just realized Julie Andrews and the cast of Sound of Music are members of the How Many Wins Network. Because that's been something I've been talking about for years, that how many wins have you had today? When things get the roughest is when you got to count your blessings. That's a message that I've preached, and you've all heard me speak, so you know what I'm talking about. So here's why I come to you today. I am not one that can honestly say that cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudel are not my favorite things. But I do have to tell you, I do look at this time of year as we come into spring as some of my favorite things, because I love when the sun shines, and I love when it gets warm. And I love baseball. I'm a huge San Francisco Giant fan, or as we call it in 2020, a lesson in futility. But we did have some wins to celebrate, so we're still hanging on to that. But I love this time of year. But I will say this, as a leader, and particularly as an educational leader, I remember full well how difficult it is this time of year. And I don't quite know why, but I do know a couple of things. We get through the holidays, the Christmas holidays, and we come into January and February, and there's that whole Martin Luther King, President's Day, staff development times. We have a lot of days off, and so those go fairly quickly. We get into March, however, and we start the grind. Even though spring breaks in there somewhere, we get that grind to June, and there doesn't seem to be as much to look forward to, and everybody gets tired, and we start to respond a little differently to each other. And so I always think that maybe fatigue might be the biggest part of it, but it just changes, it kind of changes the way we look at it. And this, my friends, particularly my leader friends, this is where we earn our money. This is where we find out what kind of leaders we are when it comes to culture. Hey, believe me, I'm a speaker, man, and I'm happy to go all around the country in July and August and talk to folks and try and motivate you for the school year. I think there's a lot to be said for that, and I'm all about it. Don't get me wrong. However, I think that as leaders, we have a responsibility to look at our culture now, maybe more importantly than we do in the fall. And I don't know, maybe it's not a contest, maybe you can do both. But certainly in this time of year when we're looking at our staff and our team of students and our parents, and we're noticing that behaviors are a little bit changing, relationships are more strained, and the motivation and the excitement in our culture is waning a little bit, this is the opportunity for leaders to really make an impact. So I'm going to recommend a few things this time of year. I look at March as coming into that sleepy time. So we got to take a look and try and bring back that motivation level, bring back the excitement. And this is where the how many wins approach can be its most valuable at some level. Remember, I've said this in my talk, and I'll say it again because I believe it to be really true. School years are dog years. They're long years, man. I mean, you take a look at 1 year, it seems like a lifetime, and I joke about it being a 7-year thing. But it's not that far-fetched. You know, if you take a look, you've all been in that situation where just one school year seems like an eternity, and it does. But it's a springtime that we can make a change, and we can look at ourselves, and we can start looking at it. We can start sort of the sound of music approach, and start really spending time counting some of our favorite things, and really stepping up the game. And here's some specific examples. You can walk in as a leader, and you can start your message. I've said this before: your morning announcements, your newsletters, all those types of things are real opportunities for you to celebrate the good things that go on in your campus. But there's some other things too. Like, I really believe this is the time of year you need to step up your game with your staff, and not be afraid to go out and do some happy hour stuff on Friday afternoons. Get people out in a social setting where they can relax and enjoy each other's company. Good opportunity to bring food into staff meetings, and just the opportunity to kind of fellowship a little bit is really, really important. Stuff that you would do extra above and beyond the normal school year. Kids are another opportunity. You know, we have this demand and punish culture often throughout a school year where, you know, grades, you either pass or you fail, you do well, you do poorly. Discipline, we come into a time of year where you do something wrong, you get in trouble. Here's an opportunity this time, you know, now in the spring, to try a couple of different things, man. Do something I call demand and reward. Play a couple of games with your folks. Tell your students if whatever class has the best attendance rate in the next 2 weeks, get them a pizza party. Do something where you know, you check your third quarter grades, and whatever class has the highest grade point average, you know, give them treats or something like that. Just little things to let them know that you're celebrating and you're having some fun with it. You know, reach out to your parents and say, if we could have if we have a higher number of folks at our parent meetings in April, you know, you bring food and stuff like that. But it's little things. It's not necessarily the what, but it's the why. I call it the magic of why. The magic of why is it's tiring. Our culture starts to wane a little bit, and as the leaders, we're responsible to that. And this is the time of year where we have to step up our game, lead people to an alternative of despair. And the alternative of despair, I've called this hope. It's unconditional love. It's counting your blessings. And when we reach out and step up and get more visible this time of year, and we take more opportunities to celebrate, that's what the How Many Wins thing is all about. So let me just say this. I am here today, and I'm here throughout the rest of my career to do one thing, man. I want to create How Many Wins ambassadors around the world. I want as many people out teaching my message to others as we can. I promise I made to my coach after he passed away was that I would take this message and never let it die. And you've heard it, and you've believed it enough to sign up to be in the network. Well, it comes with a responsibility. The responsibility is I need you to go out and be ambassadors to your population. We can change the world. We can change the world through communities and through classrooms. And if we do it together, and you're part of that, we can make a big difference. So I'm expecting you to do it. I'm asking you to do it. And it's just as simple as this. I'm gonna put this video down in about 30 seconds, and all you need to do is walk away, look yourself in the mirror, and ask yourself, how many wins have you had today? And then go out and step up your game in the spring and teach it to your folks. I'm looking forward to talking to you again. Have a great spring and enjoy this little bit of the sound of music. The hills are alive with the sound of music. That's it. I'm done. Have a good spring.
What did he say? How many wins have you had today? How many souls have you touched along the way? Though it seems hard to do when all the world is pushing you, and the life you thought you had is gone, and no hope is left for you, what do you do? Would you take my advice? Think it over once or twice. someone's out there who needs a helping hand. There is hope up ahead, maybe just a single thread, but hold on to it and say, how many wins have you had today? How many souls have you touched along the way? Though it seems hard to do when all the world is pushing you, and the life you thought you had is gone, and no hope is left for you, what do you do? You find a way.